So hello there, welcome to the video. Today I'm doing something very exciting and I am doing a horror bracket. I've put 64 of my favourite horrors into a bracket and we're going to see what comes out on top. Now as you can imagine, there's 64 movies I'm about to go through and multiple rounds. So I'm going to try and speed through this. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long, but let's go. Here we go, I guess. So we're starting off, What We Do in the Shadows versus The Incredible Shrinking Man. This is an easy one for me. I love What We Do in the Shadows. It's incredibly funny, but I'm going Incredible Shrinking Man. So now we have Day of the Dead versus Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to go Day of the Dead there. It's a close one. I like Nightmare on Elm Street, but I do love that trilogy of Day of the Dead. So any of those movies are going to go quite far, I would guess. So yeah, that one's easy. Alright, Friday the 13th versus The Fly. Again, I love Friday the 13th, but for me, The Fly is one of my favourite horrors. It's a no contest. The Fly goes straight through. Don't even need to talk about that. It's just going straight through. Easy win. Easy win. Alright, Train to Busan next versus Evil Dead. I actually don't like the Evil Dead as much as many people do. So, for me, again, a lot of easy winners here so far. But Train to Busan, straight through. That could be a winner of the whole thing. That's going to go very far. Okay, so now we have the first toughest one. We have Bride of Frankenstein versus The Thing. Now, this one is going to be very tough. Yeah, I don't know who to put through here. If I'm honest, I'm leaning towards The Thing. Probably by quite a bit. But deep down, I really want The Bride of Frankenstein to go through. Just because of how much I love that one. But I'm putting through The Thing. Because it is the best one. It is a great movie. Eden Lake versus Alien. Now, this one's going to be a bit controversial. I'm going to put through Eden Lake. I love Alien. It's a classic. If I was putting this through objectively, based on which one is the better movie, I would probably go Alien for the obvious reasons. But if I'm going with my favourites, Eden Lake goes through. I love Eden Lake. It's one of my favourite movies in terms of the horrors. And it's very underrated. I really like it. It's probably the most scared I've been watching a movie for a long while. So yeah, Eden Lake goes through. Shaun of the Dead versus Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Tough match there. I've only just recently watched Killer Clowns again for the second time, and I absolutely loved it. I do think Shaun of the Dead goes through there, but that's a tough one. Rosemary's Baby versus The Terrifier. I'm not going to talk about Terrifier. It's the worst movie, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Rosemary's Baby, you're through. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake, 1978, versus This Night I Possess Your Corpse, which is a Coffin Joe movie. I love Coffin Joe, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 78 version and the 56 version, could be in the final. So Invasion of the Body Snatchers is going through. That's going to go very far. I love that movie. Coffin Joe is back again versus Onibaba this time. I'm going Onibaba. I loved Coffin Joes. I'm worried that all the Coffin Joes are going to be knocked out here in first round, which is very harsh. But Onibaba is a masterpiece and is going through. Oculus versus Hellraiser. I might do something a bit controversial here, but I am putting through Oculus. Again, underrated. It was in my top 10 hidden gems and it's going through. I love that movie. Nosferatu versus Carrie. Ooh, I think I'm going to go for Nosferatu. I think Carrie I do like, but I think having watched it only recently, it doesn't quite hit the same as maybe when it first came out. It's less unique now, I guess. But still a big fan of it. However, Nosferatu is going through, which is a shame because I do like Carrie. Oh, okay. This is the toughest one yet. Bone Tomahawk versus Midsommar. Now, I love both these movies. These are both a minimum 4. Midsommar probably a bit higher. I am leaning towards Midsommar, but again, Bone Tomahawk, just like the Coffin Joes, the fact it's going out round 1 is a travesty. But that's it. That's the game. The game's the game, and Midsommar goes through. Another big upset for me here. We got Coherence, which is a nice little sci-fi, independent, low budget, versus It. Coherence is going through easily. I actually don't like that yet very much. I watched it again recently. My wife loves it, and every time I watch it, I like it less. So yeah, It has gone out. Coherence has gone through. Again, a tough round here. Get Out versus Substance, the most recent movie on this bracket. I love Substance, but Get Out is one of the all-time greats for me, and it goes through. With Substance, I'm glad it got on this list because it deserves a shout-out, but if we're going toe-to-toe, Get Out takes it. Final one on this side, we've got the first Coffin Joe movie, At Midnight I Take Your Soul. First is The Shining. Again, I love Coffin Joe, but my boy's gone out in round 1. I'm so sad. The Shining obviously goes through. On the other side of the bracket now, we've got Bram Stoker's Dracula versus American Werewolf in London. For me, American Werewolf in London is not as good as people say. I see why people love it, but I'm putting through Dracula. Deranged versus Conjuring. I'm going Deranged. Not many people know about this movie. I love this movie. I hate Conjuring. Deranged goes through. Annabelle versus Psycho. Again, I'm going Psycho. This is an easy win for me. As much as I can appreciate why people love that movie, I am going to go for Psycho. Ghostwatch versus It Comes at Night. Two of my hidden gems. I'm going to go Ghostwatch, which surprises me because I thought I would go It Comes at Night. But if I'm being honest, Ghostwatch really took me by surprise when I watched it. So that's going to sneak a win there. That's sneaking through. Okay, following that, we have Omen versus Child's Play. Now, this is a very interesting one. I could go either way here. I really could. Having recently rewatched both of them, though, I think I prefer Child's Play. I really do. So, yeah, Child's Play is going through. Two of my faves here, It Follows versus Suspiria. This is tough. I think, if I'm being really honest with myself, It Follows. I'm liking It Follows. Let's do that. Okay, Jaws versus Invasion of the Body Snatchers 56. I'll be honest with you, spoiler alert, Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956 is likely going to go all the way here. So even though it's against Jaws, I don't care. It's going through. Okay, The Haunting versus The Exorcist. That could be a flip of a coin for me. I think legacy-wise, I'm going to go Exorcist. I think it's got the edge there, but only just. Okay, Quiet Place versus Duel. I'm going to go for Quiet Place there. Quiet Place, I think it doesn't get the appreciation. It had that weird thing where it got loads of appreciation. It almost became like overrated. Do you know what I mean? So now people don't really like it as much or don't talk about it, especially after the sequel. But the first movie, brilliant. It's very clever. I love that movie. Okay, so now we have Creep versus Misery. I like Creep. I'm going Misery there. Misery goes through. Don't Look versus Troll Hunter. I only just watched Troll Hunter recently. I think if we're going which one I see rewatching the most, I'm probably going to lean towards Troll Hunter. But Don't Look is a great movie. And I kind of feel bad not picking it, but I'm going Troll Hunter. Wicker Man versus Scream. Easy pick, Wicker Man. Bam. Okay, for Tenet versus Dawn of the Dead, I'm going to go Dawn of the Dead, although that's very close. I recently watched Tenet again. I liked it, but I think had I not rewatched it recently, I would have chosen that now, if that makes sense. Like, if I only watched it the first time, but watching it again, I was like, okay, that was good. So I'm going to now go for Dawn of the Dead. The original Candyman versus Night of the Living Dead. Again, Night of the Living Dead is going to go very far, and that goes for easily for me. Although I do have a lot of respect for Candyman. I will not say his name a second time. Lake Mungo versus Halloween. Halloween I don't like as much as other people. However, it is a classic. It's a great movie, and it is going to go through here. Final one of round one, and it is Raw versus Texas Chainsaw. Now, I just watched Raw again recently, literally like this morning, and it's a great movie. If you've not seen Raw, please watch it. However, obviously Texas Chainsaw is going through. Okay, so round two, we have Incredible Shrinking Man versus Day of the Dead. For me, Incredible Shrinking Man is a great movie. It's funny. It's just brilliant. So that one's going through. But I feel bad for Day of the Dead. I'm sorry. Fly versus Train to Busan is the toughest head-to-head so far in this whole tournament. Train to Busan is just edging through there, but The Fly deserved to be a semi-final place for sure. Sadly, it isn't though. The Thing versus Eden Lake. Again, Eden Lake deserved to go at least to the quarters, but The Thing is just trumping it. It just is. If I didn't put The Thing through, I'd be lying to myself. Okay, Shaun of the Dead versus Rosemary's Baby. Again, I like Shaun of the Dead, but not as much as Rosemary's Baby. So for me, that's an easy win. However, I feel like I've got some snipers on me right now, because obviously Shaun of the Dead is a classic. Invasion of the Body Snatchers 78 versus Onibaba is tough. It's very tough. I think I'm going to put Onibaba through, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers is really good. But I'm going to go Onibaba, of course. I love Onibaba. It goes through, but I'm quite sad. Oculus versus Nosferatu. I'm teeing up a controversial one here. Oculus is going through. I know Nosferatu is classic and yada yada. I love it, but if I'm being honest, Oculus I prefer. It's going through. Midsommar versus Coherence. Again, I love Coherence, but Midsommar is one of the best movies I've seen recently, and it's one of my favorite horror movies. So that's an easy trump for me. Get Out versus Shining. Again, a real blockbuster fight there. I think they're both going to, they're going to take it to extra time in the match. But Get Out for me is the one I prefer. However, I've only seen Shining once, so I could watch Shining again and regret what I've just said. But right now, right this second, I'm putting Get Out through. On the other side, we have Dracula versus Deranged. Again, controversial, I'm going Deranged. Psycho versus Ghostwatch. As much as I would love to put Ghostwatch through, it's got to be Psycho. Like, let's be honest. It is a classic. Child's Play versus It Follows. I'm going to go for It Follows. Although that's closer than I think, because I don't like the end of It Follows. But if I'm taking the movie as a package, I'm going It Follows. Invasion of Body Snatchers versus Exorcist. Let's cut to the chase. Invasion of the Body Snatchers going through. Although I do feel a bit cheeky knocking out Exorcist round 2, I won't lie. Quiet Place versus Misery. I'm going to go... I could really go either way there. I really like them both. I think, based on my recent watch and my current feelings, Misery. Troll Hunter versus Wicker Man. I am going to go for... Wicker Man. Wicker Man is probably better, isn't it? Although I do love Troll Hunter. Dawn of the Dead versus Night of the Living Dead. A little George A. Romero head-to-head there. I'm going to go Night of the Living Dead. For me, it's the best one of the trilogy. And I'm happy it's made it through. I'm glad it's not come up against the big one yet. Halloween versus Texas Chainsaw. Another head-to-head classic there. I'm going to go Texas Chainsaw. I don't know if that's a common thing or controversial. I'm not sure. But for me, that's the better one. Okay, so round 3. We have Train to Busan versus Incredible Shrinking Man. Train to Busan goes through for me there. I as much as I love Incredible Shrinking Man, Train to Busan is you know, it's not actually a close fight there. The Thing versus Rosemary Baby. Again, I love them both, but The Thing I think is a level ahead there. I think some of the good movies have been knocked out a bit too early here just by unluckiness, because that's again a no contest. Similarly, actually, neither is this. You know, Onibaba versus Oculus. Oculus probably got a bit farther than it should have done, because Onibaba next to Oculus is laughable. Onibaba goes through. Midsommar versus Get Out. See, this is a real, you know, quarter-final matchup. I'm going to go Midsommar, but Get Out has been a worthy opponent, and, you know, they went to penalties. You know, I mean, it was not an easy fight. And Get Out against, you know, if Get Out was on the other side of the bracket, it could have got to the final, I think. I love Get Out, but Midsommar is going through. On the other side, we have Deranged versus Psycho. Oh, Psycho. I would love to put Deranged through, but Psycho is better. It Follows versus Body Snatchers. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, should I say. Invasion goes through easily. Again, it's not really a contest there. That one goes through. Misery versus Wicker Man is another strong one. Can I really put Misery through again? I feel like Misery should not go through just based on, like, all the other great movies in this tournament. Misery going through to the second final round is a bit cheeky, but it's doing it. Misery's through. Night of the Living Dead versus Texas Chainsaw. For me, that's a easy one. Night of the Living Dead. Boom. Round 4. Here we go. Train to Busan versus The Thing. Very close fight there, but Train to Busan's through. I kind of could put either one through there if I'm honest with you. But I think right now my instinct is Train to Busan. However, I've not rewatched that one yet. So maybe I'll regret that one again. But right now, Train to Busan. Onibaba versus Midsommar. Again, very close fight. Both of these are in my top 5 horror movies of all time. My instinct, my genuine instinct right now, Midsommar. On the other side, Psycho versus Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The easiest one of this round, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, has gone through. Boom. I know, controversial. I feel like a lot of people are hating my choices. I won't lie. Final one of this round, though, is Misery versus Night of the Living Dead. I'll be honest, Misery did very well to get to the final 8. I can't believe it got that far. And sadly, it's not gone any farther. Night of the Living Dead has gone through. Second last round, we've got 4 remaining right now. We've got Train to Busan versus Midsommar. I think, if I'm being honest, Midsommar is going through. I didn't know if it would get quite this far, but it has. It might even win the whole thing. I don't know. I think The Thing versus Midsommar. I know I didn't put The Thing through. That would have been a bit more of a juicy fight. But right now, Train to Busan versus Midsommar is going through. Midsommar's going through, yeah. Other semi-final matchup is Night of the Living Dead versus Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1956. I haven't rewatched Night of the Living Dead yet. Even if I did rewatch it though, I can't tell you how much I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So that one is going through for me. I'm sorry. That brings us to the final. The final is here, finally. I've been talking for 18 minutes. I don't know how long the video is going to be, but Jesus. However, here we go. We have Midsummer versus Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Which one do I prefer? It's been a good journey, you know. Jaws has gone out. A lot of big ones have gone out very early. Misery got through to the end somehow. I don't know how that got so far through. Even Deranged got through quite far. And Oculus. But it's come down. I could have guessed these would be the final two, if I'm honest. Unless they came up against each other early on. If I had to pick, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like, I feel like it's an anticlimax, but I love that movie. I can't tell you much about that movie. So that one is an easy win for me. Thank you for watching, though. Sorry if that was a bit of a boring end, because, you know, it was a bit obvious. I said it from the start. But that's my bracket. Is there anything I did really wrong? What would you have done differently? And, spoiler alert, I'm going to do one of these, but for the best trilogies of all time. Not horror, just best trilogies. So that's going to be in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for watching. I've been James. I'll see you next time. Bye.